Hello and welcome to Living Right with Chris. My name is Chris Iswekin and I am super excited to welcome you to the month of July. So last month we looked at um, time management. That was our focus, and we said that time management is life management, and that the inability to manage time is invariably an inability to manage our life, and that the 24 hours that we all have is enough, to for us to do the things that matter to us and matter to our destiny. And most of the time we are choked with time. There isn't enough time to do the things we want to do because we spend our time on other things other than what we should actually focus on. All right, so for this month of July, it's we're taking it a step further to help us look at some techniques that we can use to help manage our time, to better manage our time. All right, so first technique I want to talk about is the 5 minutes, or sorry, the 5 second rule. The 5 seconds rule states that anything that you can do within 5 seconds, do it. That is, when you feel the urge to procrastinate, count from 5 to 1 and then start the task immediately. So anytime you have that urge, you want to procrastinate, just remember, oh, let me count 1 to 5, from 5, sorry, to 1. So when you count from 5 to 1, you start that task immediately. So what that does is that it helps overcome fear, it helps us build confidence and boost our productivity. And it does that by pushing us past our mental resistance. The truth is that while we procrastinate most of the time, is this innate or so mental resistance to just start. And most of the time, when we just start, we see ourselves, accomplishing that task. So it helps. Another rule or technique is the 2 minutes rule. Now, the 2 minutes rule states that any task that will take less than 2 minutes to do it immediately. So any task that you feel won't take less than 2 minutes to do, don't leave it, do it immediately. Now, what this does is that it helps us avoid procrastination also. It reduces our task accumulation and increase our productivity. The truth is, most of the time, we tend to accumulate little simple tasks because of that feeling that, oh, this one wouldn't cost much time to do, so we just keep them. But before long, we find out that we have accumulated a lot of simple tasks to the point that it becomes overwhelming. And when they become overwhelming, we now find a reason to leave them undone. So an example of such simple tasks might be a quick phone call, filing a document, replying an email, and all that. Those are simple tasks that we can do, within 2 minutes. All right. Another another technique we can engage in our daily life is called the 1-3-5 rule. Now, the 1-3-5 rule states that one big task, one significant task that requires focus and energy for that day, pen it down. 3 medium tasks that will not cost as much energy to accomplish for a day, pen it down. And then 5 small tasks that wouldn't take, like within 2 minutes, to do. 5 tasks like that, pen it down. Now, when you are writing your to-do list, this is something that you must consider. One, you should have a big task that you must do for that day, right? And then 3 medium tasks, and then 5 small tasks. So 3 medium tasks that are moderately important, to do, and then 5 quick tasks that are easy. They may not be as important, but they are easy to do, right? And mind you, that something is easy to do does not mean that it is less important than something that is difficult to do. So you must put this in perspective. All right. I want to read something to you. It says, at the start of each day, identify one big thing to accomplish, 3 medium things, to accomplish, and then 5 smaller things to accomplish, irrespective of, their effects at the long run, right? But what amount of time would they take to do that? I think that's what the focus should be. All right. Another technique I want to mention is called the eat the frog rule, or eat the frog technique. Now, the technique states that you should tackle your most challenging or important task first thing in the morning. Excuse me. The truth is, most of the time, there's so much, we have this energy, excuse me, in the morning, and as we go through the day, our energy level drops. So when you have a big task, which is the frog, eat it first thing in the morning. Do it first thing in the morning, because that's when your energy level is at the highest. So if, for example, you have a very big task in the office or your place of business that you ought to do for that day, look at the time where your energy is highest and do it, and then every other thing can follow. This helps to boost our productivity, help to reduce stress, and then it set a tone for a productive day for us. So when your energy is at the highest, don't waste it on those tasks that are little. And when your energy is now low, you're trying to do those harder or more difficult tasks, you see that you find it difficult. It leads you to stress yourself, and most of the time you now leave it, you procrastinate, you maybe shift it to another day, which is procrastination, by the way. And sometimes the tasks are not done, and then your productivity becomes low for that day. So if it's your job to eat a frog, it is best to do it first thing in the morning. Eat it first thing. That was from Mark Twain. He said, if it's your job to eat a frog, it is best that you do it first thing in the morning. All right. Another rule, that can help us manage our time is called the 80-20 rule. Now, the 80-20 rule states that 80% of results that we get comes from 20% of the efforts that we put. So the rule states that we should focus on that most important task, which captures the 20% that can drive the greatest results, which is 80%. So don't focus on tasks that are draining, that are like 100% of your time and gives you just 2% of results. No, focus on those little tasks that you can do that can generate the greatest result for you for that day. So the truth is, don't focus on everything. There are things that are simple to do. Focus on those things. If the resultant effect of those things will give you more, benefit at the end of the day, because not all difficult tasks are beneficial. So look at those simple tasks that have more benefits. See, that's what the rule is saying. It says prioritize high leverage activities to maximize productivity and outcome. Prioritize those things that you can just put 20% of your effort, yet will you read 80% of your outcome. Those are the tasks you should focus on. And if you do that, you see yourself, maximizing your time and being productive. You'll be at your best. Another rule is called the Pomodoro technique. Now, this Pomodoro technique says that you would have a focused work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break and repeat this circle for like 4 to 6 times, and then you take longer breaks of like 25 to 30 minutes. What it means is that when you want to do a task, focus on it for straight 25 minutes and then have breaks in between, 5 minutes break. You do that for like 4 times. What it means is that if you combine 25 minutes in 4 places, right, you will have 100 minutes, right? In between these 100 minutes, you would have taken 20 minutes break, meaning for the first 25 minutes, you take 5 minutes break. The second 25 minutes, you take another 5 minutes break. The third and the fourth, just like that, you take 5 minutes break in all of this. And when you have done this cycle for like 4 times or 5 or 6, you will take a longer break of 25 minutes to 30 minutes. Now, what this does is that it helps you boost your productivity because it helps manage your concentration, and then, of course, reduces burnout and even stress. All right, that's what it does. Now, another technique I want to talk about is breaking tasks into pieces, which relates to the Pomodoro technique. Now, to reduce being overwhelmed and feeling stressed and all that, it is best that when you have a task, break them into units or milestone, right? Milestones, because what that does is that you have a target for not just, yes, your general target is to accomplish the task, but in between the lines you have various targets that lead you to the ultimate goal that you're trying to achieve. So you break that your task into milestone, and then when you achieve a milestone, you tick it off. You take a little rest, just like the Pomodoro technique, and then you go on to the next that help you accomplish the next milestone. Just like contractors, they do in getting payments for contracts they do for government. There are certain milestones that they set for them to say, okay, when you get to this milestone, certain amount will be released to the contractor, to continue the job. And then when you get to the next milestone, certain amount will be released also, to get to the next milestone. And this amount are released from the contract sum that has been previously agreed upon. So that contract sum is not totally, given to the contractor to go and work. No, they break it in pieces, depending on the milestone that the contractor has achieved. Then the next batch or the next tranche of cash will be released to the contractor. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about is create a do not do list. The way we create a to-do list at the beginning of the day to say, okay, these are the things I want to do. Also create a do not do list. Now, what this does is that it helps you identify tasks or activities that are not essential or that can be delegated to somebody else, a third party to do. And then you stop doing those things. What that does is that it helps you eliminate those things that are not important to you to do, or those things that steal your time, that would have been used to focus on productive ventures, right? For example, there was a time I would need to wake up in the morning, wash my car, and then try and hurry up and go to work. Now, what that does is that it helps to kill my time. I begin to struggle to meet up with time. Why not just go to the car wash? So what I do is, right now, I get to work, take the car to the car wash, leave it there and go to work, do what I have to do. When they're done, they beat me up, I can go pick the car. So the time I spent, or I would have spent rather, to wash the car would be spent on doing other tasks that will be productive to me, while somebody else take care of that. So there are a lot of things that you can delegate, there are a lot of things that you can outsource, right? If you can, why not then outsource it? And as you grow in life, there are certain things that you must begin to outsource. You don't have to now do them or by yourself. If we can engage these techniques, I believe that it will help us manage our time, and then in so doing, we are managing our lives. Thank you very much for being here. As always, I want to plead with you, do like this video and subscribe to this channel. Please do subscribe to this channel. Not just you, send it out to your friends, your families and loved ones. Tell them that there's value here, and I know that indeed our day and our month will be ordered even as we go through this focus for each month. Thank you and stay blessed. Bye. Yeah.